Hey, Facebook family, this your girl Lotus Rashay from Lotus Rashay Ignites. We got a phenomenal brain-busting show for you tonight. I have my wonderful guest back with me for our 3/4-day segment where we are helping you enhance your health. We got some fantastic tips that's going to help you. Now, myself and many other powerful influencers is on the box tonight. I had to go over and get some love to my brother Jeff Martinet Jr. and my sister Wanda D. Hollis, of course. And I had to go over and give my brother Terrence Lethbridge, Mr. Unstoppable himself, a big high five because he is on the box tonight as well on his show. So don't forget, go on over and see Mr. Martinet Jr. featuring the remarkable Wanda D. Hollis, and also check out my brother Terrence Lethbridge, Mr. Unstoppable, as he has some amazing news you can use also. Oh yeah, and don't forget, I've got my brother Andy all day. He is also live, so go check him out. But in the meantime and in between time, come on in, and get in where you fit in because I got room right here around my table for you. That's right. And don't forget, go ahead and get you some good old water. If you drink wine or whatever you drink, and some juice, get you some so you can keep your palate nice and wet because we got a lot of information and news you can use. But also, don't forget this. Get your pen, get your pad, get ready to take some remarkable notes because I've got a remarkable person. She is Cheryl Lynn Ivranesky. She is amazing. She's a global wellness authority. She's a doctor of holistic medicine and acupuncture. And not only that, she is a 5-time international best-selling author. She's a speaker, she's a host, and she's a coach. But right now, she's here with me, giving you the most to help you to ignite and take flight and enhance your life. So welcome with me, my guest, your guest, my friend, your friend, Cheryl Lynn Ivranesky. Hey, Cheryl, what's going on?
Hey, great. Hey, what's going on is I'm here with you. I'm really excited, and I loved the show yesterday and the day before, so I am pumped for tonight.
Awesome. So thank you again for coming back to join me. I just wanted to share with everybody who you are and what you do and how you make the world a better place to live. I want to say hi to all our viewers that's coming in. Come on in and get in where you fit in because you fit in right here. So I'm going to say hello to some of our guests that's already tiptoed in. Hey, Raj, how you doing? Good to see you. Willie Taylor, it's good to see you. Great to have you here. Go ahead and tell a friend, tell your grandmother, tell your grandfather, tell your grandchildren, tell your friends, tell your frenemies, tell them to come on in and tag somebody and let them know it's time to get up on this health information that we're going to give you to increase your health while we're going through this world pandemic. So, Cheryl, I got to tell you, how was your day? First,
you know what? Today was a different kind of a day. It was, I got lots of great sleep, and we did talk about that the other day, and that was really great. But you know what? There's something going on with the rhythm. I need to get outdoors more. I put in 2,500 steps and did 13 levels of stairs and 120 steps across each floor. So that was really good. So I broke up my day a couple of times doing that, but I need to get outside. That's what I'm missing. I'm needing the fresh air.
Awesome. Fantastic. That's great.
How about you?
That you were able to do that. I spent most of my time focusing on family. I did get a little added rest this afternoon, so that was great. I cooked dinner this afternoon. That was great. And so now also I was able to go over and check my brother Jeff Martinet Jr. He's on the show tonight, and he's hosting Wanda D. Hollis from the I Am Enough live show. And I went over and gave Terrence Lethbridge a big high five. He is live on his show, and he's doing a magnificent job. He's Mr. Unstoppable himself. And then I went on over to Cali, and I gave Mr. Andy Auday a big high five. He is the leader of the Progression Tour or Progression Conference that I'm also a part of. So we are just having a wonderful time across the box. But most importantly, I'm here with you and I'm here with our guests to help them learn a little more about the wellness and the healthy part and things that they can use to make themselves a little more healthy. So, Lynn, I know that you had some things you wanted to share with us. I know you had maybe a PowerPoint and stuff that you wanted to talk about. But before we get into that, why don't you have the honor of telling our guests what we're going to share tonight?
Okay, sure. That sounds great. So, we're really talking about what we can do beyond the standard guidelines that we've been given by the World Health Organization and CDC. And at this time of uncertainty and health questions and concerns and anxiety, let's put that to rest. Let's look at what we can do for ourselves and let's go beyond that. So tonight is all about some really super charging, boosting immune system. I'm going to say friends, because these super boosting friends are really going to help us increase our defense systems. And I know how passionate you are about some of these as well. So tonight, we thought that we would talk about not just vitamin D, but the best friend of vitamin D that works synergistically with it, which probably is going to be good trivia for a lot of our listeners today, because not a lot of people are familiar with its catalyst. So that's really exciting. And then we were going to move on to one of the biggest super boosters, but also let people know about some of the myths that they might be hearing about another really great vitamin, which is vitamin C. And then another one that some people don't really have a lot of awareness about, but it's a super supplement, and it's best to get it in our foods, but often we're deficient in it, and that's zinc.
Yes. And also, we've got something special for you. We've got a free gift for you tonight, and we're going to share that free gift with you at the end of our broadcast. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you tag a friend. Make sure you tell a friend of me. Make sure you tell a coworker, and even invite your children along, because this is always a clean show, but primarily it's a healthy show for you tonight. So with that being said, stick around, because you don't want to miss the free gift that we're giving away to you. And we're making it so easy for you to receive. So it's back in your court, Lynn.
All right.
What you got?
Well, you know what we can do, and I know that you're passionate about this. Okay, so a lot of people, and please, people, put in comments, wherever you want, thoughts, suggestions, questions, because one of the big things that is one of our biggest supporters, and which is an actual global pandemic, is a deficiency in vitamin D. And it's amazing because so many countries around the world have so much sun, so much of the year. But here's the kicker. The kicker is that when our arms and our bodies are clothed with clothes, even when we're in those climates at the hot sun all year long, those are some of the populations that have the highest deficiency. Is that not mind-blowing?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. It is.
So who would have thought? I know when I was leading a lecture just a few months ago, and we were looking at, the risks and the number of people who are vitamin deficient, and we were looking at some of these countries, even in the Middle East, it was a shocker to most people. So even when we're using things that we think are protecting us, which they are, which are the sunscreens, but keep in mind those block out the absorption of the vitamin D. So there's some things that that we may or may not be aware of. But I have here a couple of points that I can bring up on the PowerPoint. Do you want me to share my screen?
Yes, please do.
Okay, so let's see how I do that. Okay, so share screen, and we'll go right here.
I'm going to make sure that we have you sharing your screen properly. Let's see. Okay, got it. All right, here we go. And actually, Lynn, if you want to, why don't you run that PowerPoint as a presentation? Go up to the top left and start a slideshow, if you would.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know what? This is a presentation on a lot of things. I think it starts here.
Okay.
So that's okay. That's okay.
Well, if you do it in a slideshow, those other ones won't appear, and it might show
Oh,
up
that's
on the
why.
screen.
Okay. So I go to, where do I go, dear?
Yeah, go straight up to the top, look
Yep.
to your left, start slideshow.
Okay. Slideshow. Here it is right here. So let's see.
Got it. And then it should start as a slideshow, and hopefully it'll be bigger. So, folks, you can see this a little bigger on your screen. And once she gets that going, I'll go ahead and put it in a larger screen so you can see it.
Okay. From
If
current.
you have any problems with it, we'll forego it. Just
No, I think we're okay.
okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to put, all right, there we go. So we've got that in the large screen so you all can see it. If you can see it, give us a number 2 in the message below if you like the size of that. And Lynn is going to walk us through this part.
Yeah. So, vitamin T is really a really great friend. However, just because we go outside doesn't mean we're getting that vitamin D. So, although that's the best source to get that because, it's natural and it's in nature, we don't always get it. So that's where supplements do come in. But vitamin D is a power supplement and a power vitamin. And you know what? It has a lot of purposes. It has a lot of values, especially in building our immune systems. So there's many sources of where we can get vitamin D from as well. But let's look at what vitamin D does. So vitamin D is very important, and this is true when it comes to our bone health and our calcium absorption. And that's critical because the population, so many people, especially as we get older, do have the influence of osteoporosis. So when we're looking at calcium absorption, vitamin D plays a vital role. Not just in bones, but also in our teeth and our structures in our teeth. Being licensed in preventive dentistry and periodontology, I would say often, when we're looking at things from over time, you can see things in the oral cavity that manifest lack of. And so those things are very apparent. But when we're looking at overall health, we're looking at not just the bones, but our overall tissues. So when we're looking at things like, and as you know, my big passion is in diabetes and our immune system. And I am a holistic diabetes coach and a leader, a thought leader in that area. And vitamin D is often lacking in people who have both pre-diabetes and diabetes. And with the lack of that certainly contributes to lack of heart health. That's for sure. But when we look at what it does and what the mechanism of vitamin D is in the body, we're looking at its ability to work effectively in our cells, not only with helping to produce insulin in the pancreas, but having the receptor cells that actually absorb the insulin work at a much fuller capacity. People with type 2 diabetes, 90% of people are people with type 2 diabetes. And what that is all about is it's about the movement of insulin in the body, but it kind of like being in slow motion. So for those of us who drive, and do you ever go on speed? Control where you take your foot off the gas pedal and it goes on auto?
Yes.
Okay, so it goes on auto control. So if we relate our cells in our body and our body being in good health and taking up insulin in the cells, and if we're on autopilot, just like when we're driving our cars on auto cruise, it's running at optimum efficiency. So when you're driving your car and your pedals at, let's say, 100 kilometers an hour or 90 kilometers an hour, you're staying right in that zone. Would you agree?
Yes, I would.
Now, in a car, if that elective is faulty in any way, you could be going faster than that speed limit on cruise control, or you could be going slower. And that would mean that the mechanism is off. Now, in our cells in diabetes, the mechanism, the cruise control of how our body works, that mechanism is on slow motion. And that's because our cells become resistant to absorbing insulin. So what happens is that the blood sugar in our bodies spills into the bloodstream where it's really not supposed to be. And so, what vitamin D does is it gets in there, it goes to where the receptor cell activity is. And what it does is it helps to increase that absorption of insulin into the body, therefore, making insulin resistance less of an issue. So, that's very important for people with diabetes. And 1 out of 3 people have it. And half of those people don't even know it. So this is a good education for a lot of people.
Of course, of course.
So yeah, it's got a huge function in promoting the normalization of blood sugar levels and increasing that sensitivity throughout the body. But another thing that is really important is it helps to aid in weight loss as well.
Yes.
So that's critical, and that's a good friend. Now, I know that you're really excited about something here, and I know that you're excited about how diabetes has a good friend. Do we want to talk about that?
So, yeah, we can talk about that. Why don't you go ahead and kind of lead us into that?
Yeah, sure. So vitamin D on its own is all good. But if you want to supercharge the effects of it, then it has a friend, and it has a catalyst, and the name of that friend is vitamin K. And that's vitamin K2.
Exactly.
And I know that you and I probably both have some samples here that we'll show shortly about, what it looks like getting it off the shelves. But really, K2 is often thought of as the missing link. We're looking at chronic issues, whether it's diabetes, whether it's heart, whether it's digestive system disorders, joint disorders. But we're looking at it being the missing link. And vitamin K, really, when you want to look at it, what it does, just so that people understand its mechanism, what it does is it takes calcium out of the arteries. And when you look at heart health, calcium can build up. And what it does is it can surround the heart. So the whole function of that is to help with the promotion of healthy heart health and healthy tissues and capillaries and the vessels, not only in the heart, but in kidneys, and it also plays a very important role in blood clotting. So that's really, really important. And here's the thing, it's found naturally. It's not like you have to take a supplement.
Exactly.
It's found naturally in animal foods, things like eggs and liver, but it's also found in greens and plant sources. So that's really important to know, because when you're looking at supercharging your immune system, you're looking at doing all you can. So if you're talking super boosting and supercharging, you want to marry vitamin D with vitamin K. Do you want to share your screen, or I can go on to the next one so that we can show samples of what these look like?
Of course. And what I want to do as well, because I know some people have some questions about when they're deficient in vitamin D, what are some of the signs? So we're going to share some of the signs with you as well. And I want to keep going with what you have, Cheryl.
Sure.
The screen should be showing.
Oh, I have my screen showing. Is your screen showing?
No, my screen isn't showing. Give me 1 second and I'll bring my screen up.
Okay, sure.
Okay, because what I was going to get into is the deficiency symptoms. So I had that screen up, but I can go into K. So let's just go ahead and step into the deficiency symptoms. Okay, here we go. Let me share my screen with you. Give me 1 quick second. Okay, so I pulled this up because we always like to give you great information from great resources. Okay, so this is the Grundy MD. Okay, this is a platform of doctors that have come together and that have brought this information together. So some of the symptoms of a deficiency in vitamin D is one, feeling really tired or sleepy. So if you find yourself always yawning throughout the day and you may not even want to get up, sometimes you might want to have your D levels tested so that they can let you know if you are having a deficiency in that area. And then also getting sick often. Okay. Vitamin D plays a huge role in the body's immune system. And the immune system, especially vitamin D coupled with K2 is a pow pow heavy hitter in boosting the health of your skin, the eyes, and the urinary tract and the respiratory system and the intestines. Okay, so if you're struggling frequently with respiratory infections or other bugs that you are not sure about, you might want to increase your vitamin D. But the vitamin K2 also gives it a power punch because it also helps, as Cheryl Lynn said, and some of you may say, well, Lotus, sometimes you call her Lynn and sometimes you call her Cheryl. Yes, and she knows that I love country. So one of my favorite country artist is Loretta Lynn, and I always say Lynn, and every time I think of Lynn, I think of her as well. So you'll hear me refer to her as Cheryl, you'll hear me refer to her as Lynn, but you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, number 3 is intestinal issues. If you're having reoccurring gastrointestinal issues that are they're strongly associated with deficiencies in vitamin D. So remember that if you're having any gastrointestinal deficiencies, check out your vitamin D. Now, back pain. Many people that I know, especially my family members, know that for a long time I've suffered with an L4 and L5 disc disorder or disease, some people call it. But oftentimes, if you're having chronic back pain, that can also be a problem with deficiency in vitamin D. Now, don't get me wrong. It can also be brought on by heavy lifting. A lot of us don't oftentimes lift properly, or even it can come from bad sleeping at night if you sleep poorly. Has any of you ever woke up and your back was just killing you? Anybody? If so, put a 4 down in the comment below, because Cheryl shared with us the other night that she sleeps on a Tempur-Pedic mattress, and Medea also shared that. And sometimes we don't have the proper mattress, and a lot of times we'll sleep improperly. But sometimes back pain is the evidence that something's wrong. Okay, especially when we know we have a good mattress and we know we sleep properly, but we still wake up with this achy, bakey back. Sometimes that's number 4 on the continuum of you might have a vitamin D issue. Another thing is tooth decay. In 2013, medical reviews found that if you have a deficiency in vitamin D, it might contribute to excessive tooth decay. So make sure, again, if you're having any problems in that area, get them to check your vitamin D as well. Also, hair loss. A lot of times you'll see people, their hair will be lost right up in here or right in the back. And sometimes it's because of improper nutrition. Sometimes you'll see people, they'll take the hair, nail, and skin vitamins, or they'll take biotin, but they still seem to be having a problem with hair loss. So again, female pattern hair loss, which is an overall thinning of the hair and the scalp, that's what you'll see, or diffused hair loss all over the body. You may be a very hairy person, then all of a sudden your hair is just falling left and right. Check your vitamin D. Then the number 7, we want to talk about chronic muscle pain, because chronic muscle pain, it's no joke. Sometimes you may have aches in your joints, in your knees, your elbows, your fingers, especially your wrists. Oftentimes this can be as a result of vitamin D being low. In low mood, sometimes people, you just feel like blah. So, Cheryl, have you ever just felt like blah?
Sure, we all have, we all have. You don't want to have too many of those days.
Yep, yep. And so if you've ever felt blah, but you want to feel great, and that's why you're here, put a number 6 below. If you want to feel great, and Cheryl is going to help you, and I'm going to help you with some other ways to feel great. So if you want to feel great, put a 6 below. And then slow wound healing. If you have slow wound healing, and I've got this up here for you so you can see it, we're not making this up. We are diving deep, getting the best information for you that you can have. If you've got slow wound healing, that's our number 9. If you get a cut, if you get an owie that just won't seem to heal, a lot of times that can be a vitamin D deficiency. That may be the culprit. And especially people with diabetes, as Cheryl said, you have to be very, very, very careful and know what your levels are. And then last but not least, and really I say last but not least, but this is not the last one, because there are a myriad of things, but we just wanted to share the most common 10 with you. And this one is our number 10, headaches. Headaches, you might see them frequently throughout the week, and the pain manifests and they get stronger over time. And sometimes they're strongly associated with a lack of vitamin D. So, like Cheryl said, make sure you're getting enough vitamin D in your system. Make sure you're getting out in the sun, and make sure you know what you need to know to help yourself, help you do what you need to do to take care of you when it comes to vitamin D. Pow. That's our
You were talking about, cuts and things like that, and referring to people with diabetes.
Yes.
And what a very big area of healing is, or lack of healing, is in ulcers. Often they start off as small lesions in the lower extremities, and they can expand from there. And I know last night in our broadcast, we also spoke of, and I want people to know this about Manuka honey, because we spoke about drinking that in tea or warm water. But it can be used topically as well. And so vitamin D is very important for wound healing, as is vitamin C, which we'll talk about next too. But vitamin D is really important for that, because it can delay it and shorten the healing time, coupled with other nutrients. And that's really critical, because that could be the difference between healing and not healing.
Exactly. Now, this is what I wanted to share with you. You see, Cheryl is just so phenomenal, and Cheryl didn't even know that I was going to do this, but she hit the nail right on the head with something she just said, and I'm going to share it with you. And Cheryl, you didn't know this, but pow, there it is. Healthline also talks about Manuka honey.
Yes.
Okay, and I pulled up 7 benefits of Manuka honey, and you know what the first one was?
Aid in wound healing.
What you just said. Aids in wound healing.
Well, I got to tell you, can I share this one story with you?
Please do. Yes.
There's a really nice lakefront property, and I grew up on that lakefront property, and there's cottages for rent there every summer. So often people will be coming and visiting, because they change every week. So I met this one family, and the daughter was a nurse, and her mom was with her. It was a mom and daughter getaway for a week. And her daughter was really concerned about the mother, because, of course, she's older and she's had diabetes for many years, and she did have an open lesion. And to be honest, I learned from her years ago, initially, that Manuka honey was something that you could apply topically. And she was telling me that in the practice in the hospital, in the hospital on the one floor that she was working, they actually allowed that and used that. And I'm going to say I'm going back 15 or 16 years ago anyway. And so it was really great to have that testament, and I could physically see. I actually have photos of it on a presentation somewhere, and you could actually see over time. And then I kept in touch with them because they came every year, so I could see
Yeah.
the results. So no, that's really, really great. So yes, and you surprised me. I had no idea that you were going to be presenting that.
So the way I found out about Manuka honey is when I was in Japan. Actually, there's a sensational rugby player that played for Japan for several years, and she's an interpreter now. Her name is Takako Matsuda, and she introduced me to Manuka honey when I was in Japan. And what I didn't know was that Manuka honey, it's a type of unique honey because it's mostly noted for its attributes and its effects on wound management, just like Cheryl said, and healing. It helps the healing process. It speeds up the healing process. And Manuka honey also, it's antibacterial, it's antiviral, and it's anti-inflammatory. So when I had a stomach problem because of some food I ate, I was in Sasebo, Japan, and then I've flown over to Korea. And my good friend Dr. Sam Park, he did a diagnostic on me and found that I had H. pylori, which I got from something being in some meat that I had eaten in Japan. And he recommended a series of things, but he also recommended the Manuka honey. So if you're having any problems with any type of viruses, like, because it's antiviral, it's antibacterial, it's anti-inflammatory, you need to try to use it. Now, in some stores, it's kind of pricey. You can go on Amazon, it's kind of pricey, but it helps. But it also helps a number of other ailments. It helps irritable bowel syndrome. It helps gastric ulcers. It helps periodontal disease too. If you have any oral problems, it helps with oral health, and it also helps with upper respiratory infections. So there you have it. It's just so amazing, and you can use it for so many things. So Cheryl, thank you for bringing that up. A lot of people are not aware of Manuka honey, and Cheryl, you can actually use Manuka honey on acne too. You can put it on your acne. It'll help reduce the inflammation in your skin. Also, if you have any type of burns, it'll help that. If you have any cystic fibrosis, it will help that, treat those symptoms from cystic fibrosis. I could go on and on about Manuka honey, because it's just amazing. And I've studied it and I use it in my daily life typically. So yeah. So wow, you're amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. So are you. I actually want to mention this for Reza. If Reza is watching, she's one of my assistants. Great gal. And we talk often about different things that can help the skin. And one thing that I don't think that we've talked about is for skin, different family members, different people can have all kinds of issues with skin, dry skin, psoriasis. They can have, like you said, the wounds that don't heal, wrinkles, things like that. So Manuka honey serves for all of those purposes as well. I mean, it's going to be a little sticky, but there you go. Now, Angela's asking a question, and she's asking what is the proper dosage for it. So I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'd like to hold up one example. There we go there, if you can see that. These are D3 drops, okay? Because you can get D3 and you can get capsules, but this is an example of a dropper. And what's recommended is 1 drop, which is like 1,000 international units. Right. And with this, though, and the absorption rate based on people's different internal systems and chronic issues that they might have, I'm not so sure that is enough. Dr. Andrew Weil, out of Arizona in the States, a masterful doctor of holistic medicine. I was reading his information, and I think he recommends upwards of 4,000 to 5,000 international units a day. It's been shown that we can take as many as 10,000 or 15,000 international units a day for months, and there would never. It's very, very slim chances that you would have too much vitamin D. And you would probably divide that up throughout the day, maybe twice a day instead of taking it all at once. And this is an example here, Angela and others, of vitamin K2. So this is an example of a vitamin K2 product, and it will tell you right on the vitamin K bottle. It's a liquid. I'll show you here what it looks like, because I could take some, and it looks like this, and 1 to 2 drops with 4,000 or 5,000 international units. And there you go. So there you go.
And
so I hope that answers your question, Angela.
Yeah, and this right here is the pill form of vitamin K2. Okay, and I'm gonna put the top back on because I don't want to turn the bottle over and spill out all the pills. So this one right here is 800 mcgs. Okay, and I'm just gonna read to you what's right on the bottle, just so that you know where we're coming from right off the bottle. Okay, it says directions for adults: take 1 quick release capsule daily, preferably with meals. So typically what happens is in the morning, I take the 2 of these coupled together with my meal. Now, some information that I recently gained was that vitamin D also helps with sleep at night.
Yes.
And maybe on our next broadcast, I'll share a video with you all, letting you know how that happens. I was floored. I did not know that. Did you know that, Cheryl?
I did.
Oh, awesome. So tell us a little bit about it then.
Well, there's benefits, and benefits. And, we probably focus on the top 6 or 7, but
Yes,
because sleep is so important, and I actually believe that's the number 1 thing.
exactly.
As we talked about the other night.
Right.
With vitamin D, it does. I don't have the studies right here in front of me, but I'm happy to provide them and send them off to anybody who'd like them. But I do know it aids in sleep. I'm not exactly sure what the mechanism is, but I can tell you this: when you have something that's working in your body to promote homeostasis and internal balance, whether it's high blood pressure, whether it's high blood sugar, whether it is calcium absorption, I can tell you that when vitamin D works to help provide that homeostasis, no matter what. So when your body's working to balance you out, of course, then that helps with sleep. So that would be my contribution in that area. And do you have anything to add to that?
Well, with vitamin D, I'm gonna slide this over because we know that, as you said, it helps with bone health, teeth health, muscle, and it helps to boost the immune system. And I'm going to show you that you can get this. I'm going to show you right here.
Okay.
You can get it in pill form. This is a gel cap. Now, many vegans prefer that if it's going to be that they're going to take it, they want a gel cap that it's vegan. So sometimes you can get some that where the gel caps are vegan, okay? Or you can get it in a hard pill form, whatever you like, because some people have problems, Cheryl, swallowing those hard, chalky pills.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have an easy way to go when it comes to the gel caps. And what I like about these in particular is that it's kind of got an oval shape. And for me, I don't know, it just goes down so much smoother.
Sure.
Yeah, and this is 125 milligrams, and I'm going to read to you what this says as well. So we're not making this up. We're taking this from the experts, okay? So this one says that vitamin D3, 5,000 IUs. That's what this is. I take one of these a day, okay, and I couple it with this, and I'm good. And now this one, the other ingredient is soybean oil and gelatin, okay, and water and a little corn oil, because it helps with the covering. That's what it's coated in, and bam, and you take it right down. And then this one, the K2, I'm going to share this with you as well. This one right here is not a hard, chalky pill. This one is also in a gel cap. Now, a lot of people like the gel caps because they are easily absorbed into the body and they break down rather quickly. Have you ever taken a gel cap and put it under some hot water? Look how easy it dissolves. Or have you ever, this is what I did, Cheryl. This is what I did yesterday morning. I took my pills and I sat them on my napkin on the table, but I spilled a little warm water on it. And then one of the little gel caps got stuck, right? It got stuck.
Yeah,
to the
I've done that many times.
Exactly. So they will dissolve in your body so easily and it will be released and bam, you're on your way to healthier bones, healthier immune system, healthier, stronger muscles, and it will help with some of the aches and pains if you're having back problems and a myriad of other concerns that we talked about earlier.
And I also think a good thing for our listeners to know is that if you're taking like a multiple vitamin in a day, it will often include vitamin D, but normally what's in the what's in the supplement is like 400 international units, so it's a lower amount. So depending on how many of those you take a day, and then again, if you look at the absorption level, it would be not quite what would be recommended. And again, I think that when we're looking at recommendations, personally, I agree with Dr. Andrew Weil and some of the other holistic doctors. I don't think 4,000 or 5,000 international units a day is too much, and at times where the body is stressed, I don't think that more than that is an issue either. I think it's one of our best friends. Short-term use, right?
Yeah. If you look on Pure Nature, or if you even do some other research, I have heard from some of the leading doctors in the nation by visiting some of their sites. Some of them also recommend up to 10,000 units of D3 a day. Now, I'm not a medical doctor. Cheryl is not a medical doctor. So we're not telling you what to do, but we are saying get what you need, know how they work together, and read the directions and take them as directed. And if you're not sure, if you're having to take any type of other medications, by all means, contact your physician and ask him or her, how do the vitamins interact with any medicines that you're taking?
Yes, because
that's crucially important.
It is. It is. So that's awesome. Did anyone else have questions? I hope that we answered your questions there, Angela, and that's been valuable for you. And also, when we were talking earlier about some helper friends to vitamin D and vitamin K, we also talked about introducing the idea of, and I know many of you know about vitamin C, so we can review that, but also a really good friend of ours, which is zinc. But I'm not sure, Lotus, what kind of vitamin C that you take, but like whenever I can find anything that's liposomal, bioavailable, something that is very friendly and does not have to work to break down in the body and can be easily absorbed, why would we have our bodies work overtime to try to process that?
Exactly.
So this is an example. I don't recommend any particular brands, but this is a great liposomal. And, the daily recommended amount is, about 1,000, milligrams. So again, depending on your body and your immune system, again, if you have a chronic condition, and I'll also mention this if you don't have a chronic condition, but if you're somebody who has smoked in your lifetime, if you're somebody who smokes now, if you're somebody who has diabetes with consistent elevated blood sugar levels, our ability to absorb things is compromised, and our ability to fight infection is compromised by as much as 80%. So what does that mean? That means that this 1,000 milligrams, right, or the recommended amounts that we've been talking about with the D and the K are not going to be enough if we have any kind of chronic conditions or if we want to boost our immunity. So I just wanted to mention that because on the upper scale, we're probably looking at least 2,000 units of vitamin C. And
Mhm.
that's something, it's water soluble, so that's something that we excrete. It's not something that stays with us.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, excessive amounts can cause some minor side effects. But
Yeah.
now with all of this talk about the coronavirus and
Yes.
reading some research about some of the doctors in Shanghai that
Yes.
are looking at even infusions of mega doses of vitamin C, they
Yes.
haven't been able to prove that anything more than
Mhm.
2,000 units a day is actually beneficial. So I think that
Right.
also comes back to a reality check of taking things in oh, great, Angela, that's great, in what the recommended doses, and then some depending on your own medical situation.
Exactly. And another thing I want to share, we shared earlier about the vitamin D and K, and we talked about the gel tablets, and the you know them being vegan and things like that. But another thing for those that don't like to swallow pills, because a lot of
Yeah,
times people don't like to swallow pills.
right.
You can also take these vitamins in liquid form. So let me share my screen with you quickly, so that you can see, um, some liquid forms. And give me a second. I'm going to bring that up for you. Okay, so and again, we're not telling you who to buy from or what place is better than the other. We're just showing you an example.
Yeah.
Now you can get vitamin C in liquid form, especially for people on the go. You can get these vitamins and you can put them under your tongue, which is called sublingually. And
Huh.
when you take a vitamin sublingually, it absorbs into your system a lot faster. So if you are a person that you have a problem breaking down even gel caps or hard pills, you can take the vitamin sublingually. Okay. And if you look, there's a myriad of vitamins, and I'm sure we'll talk about that at a later date. But I want to let you know that you can take the liquid vitamin C. You can also use a vitamin C spray,
Yes.
which will help you immensely. So for those that don't like to put stuff under their tongue, you can go ahead and spray it in your mouth. And this particular liquid one is 1,000 milligrams, and they vary. So you just need to be aware, one, that you can get it in a liquid, and they come in very measures. So, with that being said, how is it for you, Cheryl? Do you like to take pills? Do you prefer liquids?
I'll tell you, vitamin C, also for our listeners, is also available in crystals. And
Ah,
so, what I like to do, because, you could sit here and take all the pills in the world and like you can get overwhelmed with that too. For me,
yes,
I like a sprayceutical. I love sprayceuticals. They've become more and more available, but not everything's available in a sprayceutical. That's my favorite. I do like liquid forms as well. Again, they're usually more bioavailable.
yes,
But I don't mind to use the crystals. So I actually
right,
have a powder, the crystals, and I'll
okay,
sprinkle that on my salads. I'll put that in my smoothies. I'll actually put it in anything because I don't mind. But like
right,
I said, when I was showing this one here, it's really easy to take the liquid and use that too. But
right,
what I will say is this. Um, Although we're talking and showing supplements, I really do encourage that the best source to get all vitamins, first and foremost, is from Mother Earth and from our plant kingdom. And so when we're looking at the foods that are richest, and this is pretty cool because guava
yes,
and kiwis are probably the highest in vitamin C as far as fruit goes. And of course, strawberries and oranges are right about the same level of the amounts of vitamin C that they offer us. But we've got the kale and we've got other things as well, like
right,
the broccoli, the cauliflower,
exactly,
Brussels sprouts, things like that. But I do enjoy my fruit too.
yes,
So I like to try different things. So kiwi, just for everyone listening, is really a power food. because it has so many micronutrients in it. So I still think that, like guavas, if I tell you how much vitamin C per cup, I'll just give you this comparison. So guavas have 377 milligrams per cup.
Wow.
And kiwi has 167, and then compare it to strawberries, which are 98, oranges, which are 96, honeydew melons, which are 88, but red bell peppers are 152. So that gives you a really good kind of, overview of where you can get your vitamin C from. Oh, doesn't that look good?
Yeah. Doesn't it look tasty?
It sure does. Yeah, that's awesome. So what I do is I put some of these things in my smoothies. So I'll actually put a kiwi, and I'll put, a handful of berries, probably 6, 7 berries. And I'll get that and put that, and then I drink right away because I want the fresh enzymes in my juices. So yeah, I still think Mother Nature is the best source. And so you have it right there. What does it say about kiwis?
Of course. So let's go back up to guava, because I like that you pointed that out.
Oh yeah.
Guava is a huge source of vitamin C. And it also is a huge source of zinc. Okay. And these fruits that we're sharing with you are actually a huge source of vitamin C and zinc. And right off the top, Cheryl shared the kiwi fruit. Now, some people are allergic to kiwi fruit, but some people are not allergic to guava. So you can go with guava. Okay. So it says there's 70 milligrams, which is 117% of the daily allowable vitamins per medium-sized kiwi. So you're going to get about 76 grams. Okay. So that's great. And papaya is a big holder of vitamin C and zinc. So papaya. And then strawberries. So many people like strawberries. You can put it in your food. Yes. Smoothies. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, oranges. You can get our vitamin C from. And lemons. Lemons are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, and then pineapple, of course. Cantaloupe.
Yes.
And I think Cheryl also mentioned mango. And I think we've got one more that we want to share with you. And that's grapefruit. Grapefruit. And I love grapefruit. So Cheryl, you talked about mangoes. And mangoes has 76 milligrams in one of vitamin C per cup of mango.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's which is great, and we'll talk about the like what how vitamin C operates in the body in a minute. But the one thing that I also want to point out about all these wonderful fruits, which are great, what we want to do is look at how overall those fruits are affecting us too. So mangoes are really great. They're very good. And what we'd want to do based on the sugar content, if you're looking at sugar, is probably look at a half a cup.
Exactly.
So there's a couple things to keep in mind there. But here's why vitamin C is important, just for an overall. So vitamin C is important because it is a free radical scavenger hunter in the body. It's like putting a vacuum cleaner inside of your body and sucking out the ions, the radicals that are in there just dancing around and causing harm. They're causing internal inflammation and aging the body and the internal organs. So what vitamin C is, it's a scavenger. It goes and it attaches to those free radicals, and that's the antioxidant capabilities of some of our great vitamins. So that's the big thing about vitamin C. And, of course, you probably remember back to the days when it was used to prevent scurvy or treat scurvy back in the days. But it's also really important for people that have symptoms of rashes, like with the skin, also with muscle weakness. And there's a couple of other key vitamins for muscle weakness, joint pain, and tiredness. And, just a couple of minutes ago, we also talked about tooth loss. So it plays a role in a lot of the body tissues. and enzymes sorry, help me out here.
Uh-huh.
What am I thinking? Collagen. I was
Collagen,
thinking
yes.
elastin, but
Yes.
no, it's collagen. So,
Okay.
yeah, so in the production of collagen, it plays a very critical role in that too. So being the scavenger hunter that it is,
Mhm.
and with the other antioxidants, another big antioxidants that often goes with vitamin C is vitamin E, but that'll be another show.
Right. So let me share this with you. We've got a few folks and we've got a comment. So I want to recognize Eli Details, Rashay. Hey, thank you for joining. Elizabeth Holt Brown, thank you for joining. Daryl Nance, all the way out of Augusta, Georgia. Hey, good to see you. And Patrice Campbell, good to see you. We've got New Jersey in the house. We've got Georgia in the house. I think we've got Florida. We've got Nita Brashear in the house. Alexander Ortiz, all the way from PA. Nita, where you from? Wow. My brother Jeff Martinet Jr. has joined us. Thank you, Jeff. It was great to check you and Wanda out on your show. So he just got finished his show and came right on over here to take
Awesome.
a moment with us. So thank you. Live with Larry, host Larry Pace. He's on with us. Thank you. Good to see you. And we have a question. I'm going to post that question. The question is from Angela Elting. She said, I'm not sure if this was mentioned or not. Is it better to take supplements individually or group like a multivitamin or all in one?
You know what? That is a really great question, and I think multivitamins are probably a good choice for a lot of people because they're going to be sure to take their multivitamin. But multivitamins, I want to point out, do not have recommended daily allowances
Right.
from our traditional standards, which have been gold standards, which aren't really gold standards for today's world because we're talking the supplements and the sources of which they're taken
Right.
are different than what they were years ago. So I think a multivitamin is a good idea for people, but please don't rely on a multivitamin alone because it's not
Exactly.
going to give you what you need. And they are usually not liposomal or bioavailable. So the amount of absorption in them is much less than it would be if you took supplemental ones. So I actually do a multivitamin and others.
Right. So, and I totally agree with you because when you look on the back of the multivitamin box or a bottle,
Yeah.
you can see for yourself that they tell you, hey, you know, this only has maybe 1,400 units or IUs or what have you,
Right.
whatever the unit of measurement is that they're using. And oftentimes your body needs more than that.
Oh, yeah.
So with that being said, you have to remember that it's okay to take a multivitamin, but make sure you're looking at what you're getting in the multivitamin, because if you're not getting what you need, then you just have expensive urine.
Yeah.
So we are at the over the top of the hour. It's actually 8:14. We were sharing some love earlier, so we got started a little later so that we could go out and send a high five to our brother Jeff Martinet Jr. He was hosting the motivational queen Wanda D. Hollis, and then we went over and gave a high five to our brother Terrence Leffridge, Mr. Unstoppable, and then we trickled on over to California and saw Andy Audet giving out some of his wonderful information and gave him a gigantic high five. So we're right at 15 after the hour, and we're about to close down for tonight. But don't forget to join us tomorrow when we're coming back. Now, Cheryl has got a surprise for you all. And I got to tell you, it's pretty awesome because she wanted to share some wonderful information with you to further help yourself on a one-on-one basis. So I'm going to post something for you. Okay. I'm going to show you right there. And Cheryl, I'm going to tell you to tell them what you want to tell them, what you're giving away free of charge. Free. This is for you.
And it is. And you know what? I'll tell you, the times right now, there's anxiety, there's stress, there's concern, there's fear. And you know what? We need to stand up and be the leaders in our life. And you
Exactly.
know what? The time is now. If it's ever going to be, it's now. And with the crisis that we're having and the need to build up our immune systems,
Yes.
the time is now. As a thought leader in this area, as a global speaker, as somebody whose my area of expertise is wellness and holistic medicine. And so what I'm making available is a free discovery call for anyone who wants to have that safe environment to talk to someone, to get a chance to have a kickstart. And, you know, there's no other place you want to be if you want the information that's going to be beyond what's available out there. So I want you to know that if you want to be the take charge and be the person in your life that wants to supercharge your immune system so that it can build up the defenses that it needs so that you don't have to concern yourself with these viruses, and you can actually bypass that by building up your immunity. I want you to call. I'm not sure if there's okay, so she put a link there, which is great. So all you need to do is, you know what, book an appointment. I think there's a calendar in there that the assistants have, and that would be great. Also, we also have a free Facebook group that's safe, and it's got a really great environment of people, and you can reach us at Holistic Diabetes Solutions for a private Facebook group. And I want to just point out that half the people walking around in the world that have pre-diabetes and diabetes don't know it. It's one of the top leaders of the most unwelcome consequences that you don't want. And so anyone that lives a lifestyle that is a diabetes-free lifestyle, this is good for everyone who is concerned of or has a chronic condition. So if you want help, I can help. So come here and just give us a call.
And what I love that you did with this, and I wanted to show everybody this, because when you click on the link that I've provided, you can see it on the screen there. When you use that link, and if you need that link, you can IM Cheryl, or you can IM me, and I'll shoot that right over to you. You click on that link and it'll take you right to this page. It's so convenient. Okay. And what I love, Cheryl, is that you're giving a free 20-minute discovery appointment to help somebody help themselves be the best that they can be. So I really appreciate you doing that, because it's super important and it's super loving. So thank you so much. So if you need a free 20-minute discovery, go ahead and put a number 7 down below. And if you're hearing this for the first time, if you're seeing this on replay or a watch party, go ahead and put a 7 down below, but also go ahead and click on it so that you can go ahead and get the discovery. Now, when I say click on it, that means look, type in and click on the link once you type it in, okay? And it'll go right to this page that you see right here. And you can go ahead and sign up for a 20-minute free discovery call with the phenomenal Cheryl Lynn Ironeski. And some of you are just joining us and you may not be very familiar with her, but Cheryl is an amazing global wellness authority. She's a doctor of holistic medicine and acupuncture. She's a 5-time international best-selling author. She's an inspirational speaker. She's an MC. She's a host. She's a coach. And I almost said motivational speaker, and now I'm saying it. She can add it to her repertoire because she's here helping to motivate you, to help you move into action, stop from being stuck, and move into the action of health to make yourself healthier today and tomorrow, more so than you were yesterday. So thank you, Cheryl, for sharing that. I appreciate it.
No, thank you. I am here to serve. I am here to serve the people who want. I'm here to serve you if you want to take that step and advance into the next level of health and healing.
Yes.
And you need to be ahead of that, because when we're proactive, our immune system can withstand. And when our immune system is not in that place, then we
Right.
cannot withstand. We cannot not
Exactly.
afford to not withstand.
Exactly. And if you want to contact Cheryl direct, here's her information. Her local contact number is right here. And then if you're calling from North America, her number is there as well. So you could contact her there also. But don't forget, if you need that link, if you missed it or what have you, you can contact us. Hit us up. In an IM, and we will gladly send you that link for your free 20-minute discovery session with Cheryl. Okay, so with that said, you can also go here. This is her web address. Go ahead and jot that down if you need that. I can forward that to you as well. And you can have that. So she's got multiple ways you can reach her. You can reach her right here on Facebook. Hit her up. She'll be happy to help you. Give her a call or hit her on that link. And either way, she'll be happy to help you. Now, Cheryl, we've got a couple of comments. I want to go to the comments because I don't want to leave anybody out. Oh, wow. Angela, thank you so much for listing that in the comments below. I appreciate it. And this as well. Thank you so much. So that folks have it, and make sure you use it. So thank you so much, Angie. She said this was an awesome show tonight, and I'm sure this has helped somebody. And if you like what you've heard tonight from us, please go ahead and let us know that it was good stuff. Okay, and let me look right here because I got my phone here. Again, I want to thank Alexander Ortiz. I want to thank Jeff Martinet Jr. I want to thank the author, Simone Rose. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Eli Details, Riche, good to see you. Nita Brashear, good to see you. Elizabeth Hope Brown, good to see you. Daryl Nance, love that guy. He's an amazing person too. Patrice Campbell, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. So with that being said, we want to thank you. Let me see what else. Wanda D. Hollis. Whoa, let me take a sip of water. Take a sip, everybody. Let's take a sip. Fantastic. Wanda D. Hollis is on the box with us as well. Wanda D. Hollis is the author of I Am Enough. She is also the show host and CEO of I Am Enough Network and a plethora of other platforms. So thank you. Wanda just got off her show, her interview with Jeff Martinet Jr., and both of them came on over here to give us a happy high five. That's to support awesome. What we're doing. So thank you. We've got folks here from Canada, from Philadelphia, from Atlanta, Georgia, from Ohio, from Washington, D.C., and all over the globe. So thank you so much for watching. And if you're just coming in, please tell a friend of me, tell your coworker to come on in and check this out. And also like, share, and start a watch party. So until we meet again, be blessed and don't be stressed. And we'll see you real soon. So Doc, you got anything else you want to say?
You know what? Have a great evening. I want to thank you all for joining, and thank you for your commitment to yourself, because this is all about your health and healing. And you know what? It's really wonderful to see all the wonderful comments, to see the interaction, the connection, and the conversation, because it's the conversation with everyone that really inspires me and motivates me. And it also lets people know what they're interested in. And there is one thing I'd like to say. Tune in tomorrow because we're going to add zinc tomorrow.
That's right. Oh, okay, so am I going up in the air tomorrow, Lynn? Cheryl, am I going up in the air tomorrow? I'm going up in the air. I'm going up in the air. Oh my God, you guys, I'm going up in the air. Now listen here. 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be on. So if you have children that need to hear a story, I'm going to be reading a story from Miss Medea. I've got an excellent children's book I'm going to be reading. So tune in at 10 with your children. If you just need a 30-minute break, set them in front of the computer, in front of the phone with me, and I'm going to read them a phenomenal book, okay? It's going to be great. You're going to love it. But then check us out right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where Lotus and Lynn are coming back with health fundamentals again to help you. And then at the 8 o'clock hour, me and some of my other friends are going to come back and give you some phenomenal information. So check out my page and you'll see the flyer of what's going on tomorrow all day long. And then also, don't forget, with your children, 12:30 p.m., don't forget Melissa Ross will also be on Facebook Live to sit and help your children with a nice story, but also some yoga to help your children stay fit and also give you about a 30-minute to a 45-minute and maybe even an hour break. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. And with that being said, be blessed, stay well, and stay up. And this is my jazz. I love it. This is Funky Jazz by Dr. Saxlove. So have a good night, and we'll see you real soon.
Good night.
Good night. Share, like, and start a watch party.